What's up guys, and welcome to a new series I'm going to be calling Sauce Talks. Now this is going to be a bit of a different series going up on the channel. I'm not really going to be following the usual recipe that I have for making videos, and it's something that I'm really excited about. I'm not going to be using my webcam, I just wanted to use it now in the intro as I quickly explain things, and the gameplay that you're going to be watching isn't going to be live. What you're actually seeing right now are some highlights of my time over the past few weeks playing a game called Survival Arena, who were kind enough to sponsor today's video, and I originally reached out to them because I felt like a really unique castle tower defense style game does a good job tying in with a topic that I've wanted to talk to you guys about for a long time, hence Sauce Talks. And I'd imagine most of this series is going to end up being sponsored videos because, YouTube isn't doing a very good job paying its creators right now. If you're not making videos for 5-year-olds, YouTube doesn't monetize them. And those aren't the videos that I want to make, and I'm pretty sure they're not the videos that you guys want to watch. But sponsors are more than happy to support me talking to you guys about something that I'm interested in and passionate about, so hopefully you guys end up enjoying it. This episode's topic is going to revolve around people's love for Flash games, yet their stigma against mobile games. It's something that I think I talked about a little bit in the past on the channel, like in a vlog or something like that, but I never really went into great detail, and it's been stuck in my head ever since. Flash games are the bread and butter of a variety gaming channel. You'll have a hard time finding any gaming channel that hasn't played a Henry Stickmin franchise, or the Douchebag games, or the Whack Your Blank games, the Visitor. Everyone plays all these games because everybody loves watching them. When you look around for mobile games, you have a hard time finding really anything. And I found that really strange because for all intents and purposes, they're the same thing. I'm gonna back up a little bit and try to explain what I mean. In the early 2000s, Flash games that you could play through your internet browser really took off in popularity. It was an all-new genre of gaming that stood out because, unlike your N64 or your PlayStation, you didn't have to pay to play. You weren't dishing out $80 at Walmart for one game, or even worse, $8 at Blockbuster to rent it for 2 days. Nobody can finish a freaking game in 2 days. What do you mean I'm being charged a $20 late fee? This is why you went out of business. Similar to websites and blogs and YouTube videos, really anything that you consume online for free, the development of the games were financially supported through ads. All of a sudden, anybody with the drive and the know-how could become a game developer, and websites like Newgrounds and Free Arcade and Addicting Games, they all exploded. Some of these games are upwards of a decade old now, and they're still being played by people every day. They're still being covered by YouTubers regularly, but they aren't really being made anymore. I always get comments from people asking me to do more one-of, funny little Flash games, and truth is, I'd love to. I love playing them, I'm always really proud of the videos, they always do well, and I'm always looking for more, but there just aren't many left. And the biggest reason is because developers aren't making games for browser anymore, they've all transitioned to mobile. You can even see this in the classics. I bet you didn't know that the Douchebag games and the Henry Stickmin games and all of the games that I just mentioned, they're all available on mobile now. They're there for the same reason that new games are being made there. They'll reach a much wider audience. Think about it. How many phones and tablets do you have in your house right now compared to computers? How many people don't own a computer or don't game on it, and yet they own a mobile device? How many people would rather sit and play a silly little game for 20 minutes on their PC when you have all these huge AAA games versus when they poop? On mobile, it's just so much easier to be discovered and to promote and to monetize, and from what I understand, easier to make. So it's the same people making the same games, but why do people not like mobile games yet love Flash games? I've been racking my brain over this for weeks, and there's only a few reasons that I've been able to come up with. The first is that it might just be YouTubers in their old age. I grew up with Flash games, they're nostalgic to me, but I never really played mobile games until I got my tablet this year. I've never really had to. I've always had consoles and PC and an internet connection, so there's never really been any need. And I'm willing to bet that that's the case for a lot of other YouTubers in their 20s as well. If I went to a 12-year-old right now and asked them what their favorite non-console game is, there's probably a pretty good chance that they're picking something on the App Store. Another thing that I came up with was the crazy amount of rip-offs and scams and just exploitative garbage on the mobile game store. You've seen it. I made an entire series on it, Mobile Masochist, which reminds me, I will return to that. I know people want to see more, you've been very clear, I want to make more, it's just a little bit on hiatus, I might talk about why some other time, but I don't really remember that being a problem with Flash games. I don't remember being a kid and sitting down and clicking to play a game and finding out that it's nothing but ads. And the last thing, being probably the biggest, was microtransactions. You never really saw them in Flash games. You know, they're a difficult thing to implement into games properly. It's really tricky because people don't really like microtransactions, but mobile games want to incentivize you to buy them. I mean, it's how they fund their game if it's free. It's how they pay for their servers, how they pay people to work. You can't really blame them for it, but when you feel hindered playing the game because you haven't paid, or you're constantly being pressured to continuously pay to play, it really is just a deflating experience. Like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth for the entire genre. It's something that's growing more and more common in PC games now as well. Like, if you look at Shadow of War, or Call of Duty, Overwatch, all of them have loot boxes, all of them have premium currency, microtransactions, but it's definitely more popular and originated in mobile games. And as an example, Survival Arena actually doesn't do a bad job at monetizing its game. I mean, they don't have an energy system, so you can play for as long as you want. There are microtransactions and voluntary ads, I'm pretty sure. I haven't actually watched them, but they help you unlock more towers and arenas and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel like they're always in your face about it. Like, it's not perfect, but you don't feel like you're being held back if you choose not to pay to play. And again, I do want to stress that there's nothing wrong with throwing a few dollars into a mobile game. I mean, you've seen me do it in videos, and if anything, I encourage it. If you're going to enjoy them, then supporting them is only going to do good things for the gaming industry. If you're going to play a game and you're going to get hundreds of hours of entertainment out of it, then you can kind of decide how much that's worth to you. As someone who's currently addicted to Battle Cats, but constantly running out of energy before he finishes pooping, this is the game that I've been turning to, and I've never really been frustrated by the systems they've implemented. I was always a big fan of the Castle Tower defense Flash games, you know, like the Bloons franchise, Defend Your Castle, Kingdom Rush, so revisiting the genre has been a lot of fun. I mean, that's another big reason why I really wanted to start this series, is because not only do I get to kind of talk to you guys about interesting stuff and what's on my mind, and hear what you guys have to say back in the comments, but since it isn't really like a play-by-play commentary, it isn't live, I can show you guys a lot more games. The play-by-play commentary of a Castle Tower defense game isn't exactly riveting. Like, for example, I shot him. Well, my tower shot him. I placed the tower, he's gonna shoot him again. But yeah, I guess the point that I'm trying to make here, guys, is that if you're an old coot like me, and you miss the old Flash games of yesteryear, then maybe give mobile gaming a shot. I mean, with emulators like Nox, you don't even really need to have a mobile device. You don't need to use touch controls. I'm not a fan of touch controls in a lot of games, but you can play them right there on your desktop. Also, I feel kind of inclined to mention that Survival Arena does a lot of stuff that I really like. Like, the sponsorship doesn't actually include anything about me discussing the game. I don't even really need to talk about it, nonetheless say anything good about it, but like the fact that you can actually play against other people and one-on-one duels and make it not just a Castle Tower defense, but a Castle Tower offense as well, it's something that I've never really seen before. It does get repetitive and grindy, but I find myself doing the same thing over and over again and never really getting bored. Like, it has that weird, addictive Flash game quality to it, so if you enjoy Castle Tower defense games, I recommend giving it a try for some senseless fun. I'll leave a link in the description where you can actually get the mobile and the PC version. Wait, if you can play it on PC versus people on mobile, does that make it a Flash game, or a mobile game, or both? You see, this is what I mean, like, it's the perfect game for this discussion. I'm just blurring the boundaries of our understanding. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all this. The game, Flash versus mobile games, what I've been talking about, this new series, you know, really whatever you feel like talking about in the comments. I feel like as a YouTuber, I might have a perspective that many other people don't have, or maybe this was all super obvious and I've wasted all of your time. Hopefully not. Oh, and let me know if there are any games or topics that you'd like to see me discuss in a future video like this. You know, this is the kind of thing that I might try to do once a month, maybe, or every other week. I'm not really sure, but right now I kind of like the idea of finding something like a first-person shooter or a MOBA and talking about my experience in competitive gaming and growing up with that, or finding an arcade game and talking about how arcades influence the gaming industry, or talking more about the YouTube industry. You know, I don't really know. There's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, a lot of stuff that I feel like I might have an interesting perspective of, and I'd love to be able to share that with you guys, but I'd love your input. But thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Am I gonna GG? Yeah, I think I'm gonna GG. GG! Oh yeah, that feels good.